So I hear we have one guest here who wasn't here when we started the show.
Oh, you're okay. Well, all right. Well, it's 9/11, so let's bring out Andy Dick and.
I don't think it's him. I think it's just Dino.
Oh, all right. Well, it's 9/11, so let's bring out Dino.
Yeah.
Happy 9/11.
Yeah, in remembrance, we're not going to point out when it becomes 9/11 tonight, I think.
Tonight, it's all one big remembrance.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip that was circulating? It was funny.
It's the guy on the Stairmaster?
No.
There was a fireman wearing all his gear and did like 157 steps or whatever they did on the Stairmaster.
Oh.
I know, it's sad.
I love misguided sincerity. I love that. I love it that guy I hope he was crying. I'm not because I want to make fun of him, but
he was sad.
But I love that. I like that.
Yeah.
But there was a clip that was circulating from around 9/11 when it's like as the footage of the towers are falling, and Donald Trump is who then is only a Pizza Hut spokesman and reality show host. Like he's just talking about, and he's like, and he knows 9/11 is happening, and he knows fully well he's in a labyrinth of things to say wrong, and he comes up with, he's just like, yeah, by the way, I'm over at 60 Trump Boulevard or whatever, which was the tallest building before the World Trade Center, and then for a while it was the second tallest, but now it's the tallest again. Like I didn't watch the actual clip, but that's the description of what's happening. Is that he's just like, yeah, why not? I mean, what could happen? I'm famous for my honesty and my charm. Why don't I just go right through those saloon doors and just start whipping around like a little carousel?
I know, it's so hacky that his name is Trump, right? Yeah. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, he cares about trumping.
Yeah. I'm saying God's hacky, not me.
No, yeah. Well, did you see my Reggie Watts?
Yeah. I just got out of band practice. I could use that for my voice.
Yeah,
because I'm not a good singer. I'm starting a band. You know that. I'm just telling the world.
You've started a band?
So you're here because Feral Audio now has a show with you and Andy on it.
That's right, yeah.
Called
Skull Juice.
Skull Juice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I kind of just do it because Andy needs someone to talk to every now and then. Like everyone's cut him out of his life.
Right. But he's like, well, you guys just did this thing where you went. We
just went to New York and we read an old script that I wrote with Scott Adsit and Stephen Colbert and Mike Stoynoff of TV's Blossom fame. He played the older brother, Anthony, the ex-drug addict.
Tony Blossom?
The only person less famous was me there up on this. Louis was on. Yeah, we wrote Louis into the script, and we went to New York.
You guys did a reading of the script that you had written in the old days that was kind of like before 30 Rock. It was like a script you had written that was like behind the scenes at SNL type show.
That's right, yeah. Barry Levinson hired me to write it. He wanted it to be like behind the scenes of an Ed Sullivan show with like jugglers and monkeys and stuff. And I'm like, I have no fucking clue what that means. And I said, what about SNL? He's like, that's a dumb idea. And we argued the whole time. But so this was kind of like a hybrid. But so then we went and read it, and Smigel was part of it, Robert Smigel. And it was fun. Everyone had a good time except for Andy. Is Andy here yet?
Yeah.
So I could talk behind his back. Yeah. He was so depressed afterwards. He's like, why was I even there? It was all about you and your friends and how you keep in touch with people.
Yeah. He's such a, he was on Great Minds, the History Channel thing, and it's like, he's amazing. He'll be here any second, and he's very funny and wonderful.
He's great, yeah.
When he's like, when he's somebody said he's right here. What is it? Is he like just?
Just bring him in. There he is.
Yeah.
Thank God you walked in when I said you were great. You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I said, yeah, he's great.
Oh. I like that. Okay.
All right. Yeah. I mean, he's putting it in vibrate, I
Happy
assume.
9/11, buddy.
No, I'm putting it on. I'm Snapchatting these lovely people. Look at them. I love them. Hi, everybody. Say hi. Look at, how sweet. Oh, Grumpy Gus.
Grumpy Gus.
I think we were about to talk about, well, what I would like to talk about with Andy, because I mean, it's easy enough to go like, oh, Andy's amazing. Like I think there was a little phase of your career where it's like, you know, you're like the Clown Prince, or like, you know, people are going like, oh, Andy Dick, and then you like there's an unspoken you know,
oh, him.
No, yeah, cautionary. You know, it's like you were. I always looked at you as like Pan, like from Greek mythology. Like you're a Pan, like where we get the word
Sexy.
panic. Yeah, it's like half goat, and he's got a flute, and he like comes down the mountain and causes fucking hysteria and craziness, and like for the sake of it, and then either disappears or gets beat up by Wesley Snipes in a bathroom. Did you have an encounter with Wesley Snipes? Okay. Yeah.
That happened.
All right. So, but.
Can I tell you what happened with that?
I think I know. Well,
I dropped the N-bomb.
Right.
It was, you know.
Oh, that's bad, Andy. That's a no-no.
But
we have a whole podcast that just went up. Sorry, I don't want to derail, but
No.
It's about how Andy read an article about how black people's eyes they've been bred to have their eyes pop out when they're scared.
So what? About what?
Well, that's okay. Let's move along from that.
Was the article in Hustler?
There was no article. It was my philosophy.
What?
Oh, you didn't tell me that. You told me you read it somewhere.
Because I was trying to get away from it.
And then we talked about
there's a whole group of black people that they can just go doink and their eyes pop out. And
What are you talking? Is that are you saying what if there was? Is that your?
no, there is. Yeah, a lot of black people can make it. Is there something wrong with it? And then I just thought,
well, it's
that
a road flare. The phrase "black people," it just makes people do what they should in traffic, which is like they just go like, okay,
do their feet also do their duty when they run? Yeah.
No, come on, no, I'm serious. And I don't like saying African American because they're not
It takes
from Africa.
too much time too.
Well, it just doesn't. Black, I don't know. I'm white. They say white. Why not black?
I think black people's fine. It's not a magical phrase that makes people think you're a bad person. It's just I was just saying like it puts everybody. Puts millennials. They cover the break. They go like, okay, it's bumper to bumper. I'm gonna go 35 instead of 45. That's what because they've seen shit. Like they were born into it. Like they're not. It's not like I think our generation goes like, what are these people after all this time? What are they so worried about and complaining about? It's like they just got here and all they've seen is fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like we actually like kind of because we lived through no internet and then into internet. Our perception as Gen Xers, whatever we are, is that everything was fine until everyone started talking about it. That's then like the fiber of our being, and then the new generation is typified by just their they were born and they're like mama, dad, internet, and the internet was like, the cops will shoot you if you're black, and they're like, "Wow, what's that mean?" And they're like, you know, what? And then there's like, "Fuck you, libtard," and they're like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like they get a fire hose of information to the face every day.
Yeah, I mean, you're just saying people shouldn't listen to our podcast, and I think you're right.
No, I think it's good. I'm trying to think more laterally about it and just go, these are the things that make us different. It's like that for that reason. Like we had Karen Kilgariff on last week, and she hosts a true crime show. And we talked about, it's like, well, true crime through a certain lens, it's like, it's totally insensitive and non-PC because you're like having fun talking about people getting killed and like blah, blah, blah. But it's like, there is no person out there that's like, I'm gonna I'm going to figure out what's right and what's wrong. It's just like when you look at people as a biomass, then they emanate like these weird things. I'm sure everybody would love to tune in and listen to you guys like transgress 1 million thresholds a minute.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean that they're bad people for listening and stuff.
Well, I was listening to it and I was getting angry.
Yeah.
But I got angry because we went into a whole tirade about what's going on.
He's
scoping now.
I embrace the whole.
Right? Is that what that is?
No.
It's scoping.
No.
Periscoping?
No, he's Snapchatting, right?
Although I was big on it for one hot minute on Periscope.
What are you streaming there then?
Facebook Live.
Oh, that's where it's
I
at
should have
now?
asked, but
Yeah, no.
No, we're streaming
no,
you.
it's not happening anywhere. It's happening right here, right now.
This is
on
all
stage
being
live.
videoed.
We're scoping.
No, but for the people wherever, let me tell you something. I was periscoping once, and people make fun of me for doing that.
Sure.
Doink, my eyes.
We also went in about
Well, you didn't.
All right.
Here's what it is what my thought on that eye thing popping out is that the eyes will pop out, like they can go watch this, boink, and they can make them pop out. And I think that they were bred, maybe that like they were the one. Not that they were. Like,
don't worry about them. Didn't he just say?
I think that back in this is just a weird thought I had, and that is, when it's too hardcore.
You know the thing. Yeah, when we don't have an audience, we can roll around about it. Roll around the mud.
When there was horrible things going on, especially in our country, when
the slavery days.
It's just which is still hard to even wrap my head around that. It was really in our lifetime, and it's really now even still. Racial shit is still
all right, so you're anti-slavery, which should soften the blow of what you're about to say, which is you believe that a forced breeding program to create a comedic effect was...
I just had the thought. You're not going to like it. I don't even know why I brought it up. I just had the thought that how come I can't make my eyes pop out? And no, I don't know any white people that can make their eyes pop out. I think back in the day when they would be chasing down someone, they'd be so afraid their eyes would pop out, and they'd be like, oh, that, and then they'd be like, that one's funny. Let's keep that one around.
And that would be bad because
it's
it
just
would be.
A thought.
So I was listening back to the podcast and I was laughing. I thought we were great.
I read it, by the way. I read it in Vanity Fair.
What? Oh, you read the thing about the eyes popping out? Okay,
I have to say that.
So we started talking, and then we went into, because on Community, there was a writer saying how a black writer was talking about how black people were afraid to buy watermelon. Not afraid, but embarrassed to buy watermelon because of the stigma of a black guy with watermelon. So sometimes they would have white people buy it for them. And then we're talking about how not fair it is because watermelon's delicious. I know you don't like it, but it's great. Everyone loves it. And then we talked about fried chicken and our favorite fried chicken place, and we talked about Popeyes. But then we said,
that woman loved that chicken at Popeyes.
Right.
And her eyes pop out.
But then we talked about Popeyes, and we didn't mention that the name is Popeyes.
Decline all calls.
The name of the place is called Popeyes.
Oh my God! I did.
Yeah. Is that why?
Is that why? Is that why?
Look, I'm caught in the cult of Andy right now.
It's just a thought I had. And why didn't we put two and two together?
I know. We didn't mention
It's
it.
called Popeye.
So I gave you that gift on your podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, there. We almost can go home now.
I know.
Feels so good.
Well, I want to talk about.
See,
I want to talk about an aspect of Andy that he's not famous for. If anything, you're famous for. You people would assume. Well, you probably thick-skinned because you're such an agent of chaos.
I can take it, except you wouldn't know that last night when I went to get a cup of coffee last night at midnight. Who does that? But I did, and there were these two ladies in front of me. I have to tell you this real quick. And these two ladies were in front of me, and right when I walked in, the guy was like, "Oh, no, not you. Oh, we know you. No. And I'm like,
You go crazy on coffee. Caffeine drives you mad.
and I just said, oh, yeah, well, yeah, it's me. but help the ladies, and I just want a cup of coffee. And then they talked and were talking. They were done. They were done ordering, done getting their stuff, and they just kept talking about some bar they were going to, and I was just patiently waiting. I just really just want a cup of coffee. But I didn't say that. I was just standing there, and then they left, and then I said, yeah, I just want a cup of coffee with cream. And then he was talking and ignoring me, kind of, put the coffee mug over here, and he didn't start up the coffee. There's a thing. It's this one on Cahuenga where it's a drip thing, and you press a button, and then I was waiting.
I think that's every street coffee works like that.
And it felt like 5 minutes, and I said, does it just happen? The coffee, the mug isn't even. And he went, oh yeah, you wanted coffee.
At the coffee place.
And so he took the mug and put it under the thing, and then started pressing buttons. And I started saying, so were you just not gonna make it, or? And then this guy came in immediately after, and then the guy said, are you guys closed or something? And he said, yes, and we're just doing illicit deals right now. And I went, no. I'm just getting a cup of coffee. I'm pretty sure they're open. Just getting a cup of coffee. And it was just, I was getting like, this is what happened. This has never happened before. Because usually I just take it. Look, you said thick-skinned, and it's true. And I just take it, and I take it, and I take it, and I take it. And I snapped last night. You guys would have been so proud of me. I
don't know if you know what pride is.
No one was there. He left, and then he started remaking my coffee and doing my coffee. And I said something. He said one more comment. You're that guy, or this and that. And I said something to the effect of, well, sometimes I'm just a guy that just wants a cup of coffee. But thanks. I get it, because it's the life I created, and you're in good company, because everybody makes fun of me. Letterman, Conan, Harmon. You're in good company. So I get it, and once again, I deserve it. I deserve it because I'm an idiot, and I am an idiot. I'm an idiot. Actually, you know what? Can I tell you something? Alcoholism and drug addiction, it's kind of a serious thing. And you know what it is like, in a way? I mean, just to point it out, it'd be like if I came in with crutches, and I was like a cripple, and you said, hey, sorry, we don't have a ramp for you, Gimpo the clown. It's kind of like that, but I'm okay. I'm just saying, watch yourself for other people that might not be okay with it, but I'm perfectly fine with it. But just be careful, because some people might snap. He's like, no, I didn't mean it like that at all. And I went, whoa. No, you said right when I walked in, you went, whoa, we know you, not you. What does that mean? No, I don't even know that part about you. Like, what, that I'm a big drug addict, alcoholic? He's like, that's what I said. He said, yeah, no, I just know, you're a celebrity. And I smell bullshit. And I'm like, well, okay, then what's your favorite thing I've heard? He said, well, I don't know. He said, I don't know. I don't really know what you do. I'm like, that's my point. You know me from being a fucking moron. I admit it. I admit it. And that's what you were doing. You were kind of going with the fucking flow and making fun of me in front of those people. And then the next guy comes in. Oh, no, we're just doing an illicit deal. You're talking about drugs, right? And so you're lying, and fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I am so proud of you.
I am proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
I normally am not like that. I feel responsible. No, but I do feel proud, because I never stick up for myself like that. And I said, fuck you. But by the end, we had made up, and his dad's an alcoholic. and I understood where it was coming from, and then I was crying, and I'm like, now I'm an asshole. I'm sorry,
so this continued, and he started apologizing and broke down because his dad was an alcoholic.
Wow.
And we both it was a cathartic thing, and I said, you know what, can I be honest with you? You helped me so much right now that you were just like this opening for me to, I guess I carry that with me everywhere I fucking go, and I don't have thick skin, I guess. And when people make fun of me, I'm just getting smaller and smaller and sadder and sadder, and
well,
I want to die.
That's what I was going to talk about, because through one lens, you're like this Pokemon that like you have some quirky name, and like it's like you curl up into a ball, and like your exploits are like, well, it's not like you're a rude. The self-destruction is always higher than the rudeness, which I think kind of equates to like I think it's like oh, thick skin and like he's fine. It's like he's an equal opportunity offender, and he puts himself at the top of the list because he ends up being like thrown out of every bar and blah blah blah. This is when you're
He's
off the
like
wagon.
Meowth.
Like Meowth. Oh, it's like Meowth. Yeah, that's a Pokemon.
Is that one a Pokemon?
Yeah.
You guys know how to talk to your crowd.
Oh yeah.
But on the other
They're
hand,
me, man.
On
It's
the
a good
other
thing.
hand, I've never met anybody. I think I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I'm trying to think. Like it's hard to think up here, but like I think I've never met anybody with your particularly sensitive whisker about like it's like I'm trying. It's like you can go like from such a high, like, and I'm talking about on the wagon and just you. Like, I'm not talking about, I'm saying you can go from such a high mood, like, and you're funny and you're fun and you're having a good time and stuff. And then, like, it seems like a bit at first, but you can take this roller coaster plunge, and it really is tied to, like it's the most absurdly microscopic mention of someone liking someone else, like any kind of girl. It's like we could be hanging out on a porch and like, oh, the weather's so beautiful, and you could be like cracking me up with your stories, or like just being funny and cool, and then like we're both thinking of the same thing on the set of Great Minds, but also I hear stories from Dino, and I think it's happened before with you and me, where it's like you go, oh, that cloud is shaped like Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. And then I was like, I'm going to get another lemonade. Do you want another lemonade? I don't know. Why don't you get Paul Rudd another lemonade? And it always seems like a bit. And then I go like, and then it bring back the lemonade. And it was just like, this is good. You're so nice. Thank you. I'm like, thank you. I really like hanging out with you. And I was like, what is it with Paul Rudd? What is it? And it's like Jesus, Andy. Like, that
Paul Rudd thing never happened. It did happen with Nick Kroll.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned Nick Kroll like on the set of Great Minds. It was like, and
he
it
has
was
a show. You guys probably know that Great Minds show. And Nick had, I guess, just done it and did a great job.
But I was bringing it up because
shut up about how great he was.
Shut up about
But he was trying to compliment you when he brought it up.
No, he was just talking about how great Nick did.
See?
No,
how I just had done it that day. I was where I was leaving. He didn't say, and you did real good today. He didn't even have that part in there.
No, we were
all about Nick. What about me?
But
listen.
I wouldn't have. I brought it up because it was I was connecting the dot. I was like, I haven't had this much fun since Nick Kroll was on, or something like that. It was like I was putting you in a.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I'm so sorry.
I was like, why would anyone?
You heard haven't had fun, Nick Kroll.
And like, think about the kind of like weird monster I must be if it like through your eyes. If you think it's possible that you'd be shitting the bed, and in order to cope with it, I'd be like, I love Nick Kroll.
He never shits the bed. Yeah.
Oh, it was worse than that. In my mind, I honestly thought you were trying to take me out of the.
Never trust your mind.
Okay, so
it's insane.
It has historically steered you wrong.
I think I had to call you and say, I think he's fucking with me.
Yeah, and I'm like, I doubt it.
He's too lazy.
I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, he doesn't like confrontation at all.
Like, fucking with someone.
Seriously, I really was. I did. I'm not lying. I thought he was fucking with me, and I thought he was being mean. You're right. I did. That is so embarrassing.
But let's talk about that, because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening who are going like, I can kind of relate to that.
You know, the coffee guy, maybe he was serious. He doesn't know me at all.
I think people who are ultra sensitive portray themselves as not sensitive at all, and that's what you go out and you do.
Well, I think it's almost like cutting or something. It's like you develop like this because you know how fucking risky the world is. Yes, that's what I want to talk about, because I can relate, and I think a lot of people can relate, that it's like you go, oh my God, this world could fucking undo me, like nothing, and so but that took a certain face on the playground or something, and it's like we develop these really specific numbnesses, like people that gravitate towards microphones and cameras and things. It's like it's like this weird inversion where you callous yourself over in all of the places that normal people would be sensitive, because you just develop that cow catcher on the front of your train. You're just like, okay, that's the spot where there's going to be impact. Like, and then ironically, you put so much energy into that, you have these. Like, it's like if Batman just had naked flesh on here, but had like a bulletproof like titanium thing, and then it was just like naked. You could see his ribs and his acne here, and it's just like everybody was just like, get him like that. And every time he did, it was like, oh, god damn it, I should quit being Batman.
I'm fascinated by these cow catchers on trains. They really have those?
Yes.
They catch
big swooping metal things
to catch cows?
No, to get them along. Like,
oh,
it cuts you out of her.
Run into them. The cow probably dies.
Oh, it dies.
It saves the train.
Oh, that's nice.
Do you think? Do you think that
trains are an endangered species?
Do you think that you project things that aren't there, or do you think you're like? Is it about, like, I characterize it as a cat whisker? Is it
me?
Like, yeah,
no. My thing happened. I've been thinking about this recently. It happened. It went all the way back. It's happening again, but this time I know. I think I know what to do and how to handle it. First of all, I'm 50, and I've been through it a bunch. But what happened is we did the Ben Stiller show. And then all of this.
I can't believe you're 50. You seem like 6 to me.
A lot of 50-year-olds do, though. That's the new thing.
Then I just catapulted out of there onto news radio, and I played this. I remember the audition for news radio. Paul Sims had me come in and read for the network and everybody and the writers, and I did it, and I guess I fell flat. But before the audition, when in the room, I was talking like this, and I'm like, this is going to be fun, right? This is going to be fun. Bill Harmon and Dave Foley, and this is going to be wild. And so anyways, then I do my audition, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, what are we, whatever you guys need from me, I'm in, I'm ready, I'm like that. And then Paul Sims told me that I left, and everybody was disappointed with my audition. And Paul said, can I tell you something? Did you see how he was before the audition, before he started reading the part, and after? That's how he's going to be. So we're going to write for him. And then that's what they did. And I became this kind of like warm and fuzzy character that people on the street always wanted to just touch and hug and all that. But I wasn't always that person. And so I built up this thing. Yeah, I really did. I went full force into drugs and alcohol. And I started like a punk band. And, and I made another persona that one I can't shake now.
All right. I always felt like and when I say something like I always felt, I'm not qualified. Like one of the things that I love about you is that you don't punish people like me for just speculating and I get back in the 90s, I would get mad at people for talking about you. Like the way that they did, because I would be like, because I have my own issues, and I and I'm like the whole oh, you have a problem with substances or whatever. Like, I just don't like the way normie norms handle it. Like, I don't like indulging that stuff. And it's like, in spite of the fact that I think now I'm 43, you're 50, and it's like I've had enough drinks with you and been through. I've seen enough to think. I think it's a great idea for you to be sober. Like, I really do. And like, but I. Why
am I here? I was like planning my next relapse.
It's
been almost 2 years,
which is fucking amazing.
No, it's not enough. Not enough. Don't applaud 2 years. God damn it. It's not an accomplishment, people.
It is, though, because you were on and off like a goddamn yo-yo, and like
I hate it.
2 years is huge.
I'm gonna drink again. I'm not gonna lie.
No, shut up.
No.
Why?
Lie. Oh, no.
It's a nightmare. It's just a nightmare.
I can't ever again. I can't even comprehend that.
Did you have a timer set on your phone that's now in that guy's hands?
I have an app that tells me how much sober time I have. Yeah.
Are we still good? We're not cutting into that, right? Because I know you have somewhere to be after this, right?
Oh, that. You're right. I do. I have another show.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
He also has an app about when he's going to stop drinking, so
but this is,
delete that.
Can I be honest with you? This is far more important.
No, okay. I just want you to be doing what you want to do with all the information you can have.
nice.
So here's the question I want to ask you.
Keep going though.
I've seen your relationship with our medicine. I've seen your relationship with our.
Wait, did you talking about drugs and alcohol is our medicine? It really is. Do you know if I didn't have drugs and alcohol over all these last 20, 30 years, I started drinking when I was 14, so it's been like 30 or more years. I would have killed myself. I'm sorry, I really would have killed myself, and I would have been prescribed something, and maybe that would have worked. Maybe I don't know. I never did any of those, but drugs and alcohol worked for me, and I love them.
But the other thing that works for you, the other thing that works for you is attention. Like is that a fair thing? Like
this does take the place of that.
When
You're right.
We were hanging out, we were doing that Comedy Central thing, and it was like what my.
He was creating a show for me. He was creating the new Andy Dick show for me. And then, I don't know, things got a little hairy. I don't know what happened. I remember just having a bunch of fun, doing a lot of coke. Robin Williams was hanging out with us. We were having fun. Then he's like, I'm out. And then I see Communities created by Dan Harmon.
I don't think it happened like that.
Yeah.
No, it did. All of a sudden.
Listen one more time.
He just left to do his funny little show that you guys all love, and then left me high and dry.
This is just Andy.
Drugs by myself.
In the middle of a drink, and then all of a sudden he's gone. No, there was a lot of shit that happened in the middle of that drink.
Well, I don't remember that stuff. But
Well,
but I'm proud of that. I'm not mad about it because I would have left me. I wouldn't have even started.
I didn't leave you. Comedy Central looked at the outline that we turned in and then said no, I know this is going to be kind of a stereotype because we bought that show and now we don't want it. Har har har. And I was like, hardy har. What? It was like it was Comedy Central.
So you didn't leave?
No, I didn't leave. Anyway, but I want to make sure because I want to know
so I should watch Community.
Can you draw in your head?
Just watch your episode.
I'm in it. I thought he was fucking with me with that. Because he's like, listen, I wrote you in Community. I'm like, great. And you're
Is
doing
it a big part? No.
No. Is it a big part? Not really. But you do a scene with Chevy Chase. I'm like, fuck yeah. I love the guy. Really, and I know all your thing with him, but I fucking love him. Because he's the original. He's like one of the, he's just great. I really I know you. But
I got
he was, and this one you must have been fucking with me because I get to the set, right? And I'm like, so my scene I see is with Chevy Chase. Maybe we should meet up and we can talk about the scene. Oh, he's not here. What, yet? He's not going to be here. You're going to be doing it on a green screen. Did you look at the script? We're putting you in a green screen and we're going to shrink you down. You're going to be sitting on Chevy Chase's shoulder. So talk about a bit part. I was this fucking big. And there wasn't even a cardboard cutout of Chevy Chase to act with. I was by myself. You didn't even show up. I was doing a monologue
because I had cast Andy Dick as Chevy Chase's drug addiction. I didn't need to be there. It suits itself. It's fine.
He is the coffee guy from last night. That's my point. And what am I supposed to say? Fuck this, I'm out. No,
but
I have
unlike
to be
that coffee guy, I wasn't pretending not to know you, having exploited
That's
you.
the part that got me when he pretended that he wasn't doing what he was doing.
That made me really mad when he was like, I'm sorry, I just don't know who you are.
I said, own up to it, man. Oh, I said it.
I'm proud. Yeah.
But I just want to. So can we draw? I want to try to draw a connection between the medicine that is attention, and you're one of those people that really lights up, like when people are focused on you, and like I said earlier, it's like to the point where you could experiment like with that vocoder, like we can turn the dial of mentioning Paul Rudd, and you can.
And I think that's what happened.
That's
what I was getting at. Is that I think that the world saw how easy I am. So I'm like a little bit of a whore. And then they're like, now let's poke with him and let's do that. And then it fucking drove me insane. And I've been to 20 different rehabs. I've lived like 3 years in a facility. I live in one right now. I'm in a facility. When I leave here, I go back to a sober living.
But it's nice, right?
I love it. It's on the beach. I mean, you don't have to feel sorry for it. And I'm the only one in this one house. I mean, I got it made.
You can do all the drugs you want.
That's the one thing. That's the one catch.
That's how they get you.
You know, I do think about that. If I took one fucking sip, it's gone. My house is gone. You would look at me different. You said it on stage with Tina
I wouldn't look
Fey.
at you at all. You'd see the back of my head. I'd be running
Tina Fey
away.
was right next to us, and I said that I want to, still want to drink. I want to drink right now. But Tina Fey had a fucking glass of wine tucked into her cunt right there. Everybody's drinking scotch, and Steve Colbert drinking, and everyone. I'm like, I want to drink it. You said if you drink, I'm leaving right now, and he means it. So like, I don't want him to leave.
Don't groan out there. Have you seen him drunk? It's a nightmare.
So
It's bad.
So the medicine of attention,
Right.
like, is it? I just want to talk about the relationship, like, because there's a couple different models here that we could use. Like, is it? I'm curious. Like, in your mind, is it like? Would it be easy to stay sober for 20 years if during every minute of that 20 years everybody was like, Andy, are you okay? Are you all right? You're very funny. You're beautiful. You're wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, is it?
I've been thinking about this.
Is it when that needle goes off, and then it's like I could supplement that with like the other thing that makes me that takes my brain, because we're talking about numbness. That's we're talking about you have such a high degree of empathy then maybe that you can feel people. Like you knew that guy was fucking around. Like you're hypersensitive to that. Mm-hmm. That makes you a good entertainer. Your curse to bear then is that like that seismograph is designed to measure fucking kittens walking across the kitchen floor. Yeah. So the Northridge quake is a little tough sometimes if somebody is like, hey Andy, and you're like, I want to kill myself.
If something really super bad happened, it would be just curtains.
I mean, you're talking to the two guys who love drinking more than anything. Who hate it when people don't drink, right? We hate it when people don't drink.
Well, you're saying to him,
me and you.
No, and we love it when he doesn't. Yes,
right.
Yes,
that just doesn't seem fair.
But there's got to be other things you can do that I can't. Like,
did you see Holy Hell?
Yes, I did. I just saw it. I just saw it.
God, I have this weird thing that all celebrities, and me included, create a mini fucking a cult.
What's
you have it. This is your little mini cult.
No.
Yes, and it's not a bad thing. I kept looking at that guy going, he's not that bad.
Right.
I want a cult.
You have one. You have one.
I do.
But what do you think? Do you see that situation as untenable, and like, is there an adjustment that you could make? Because I can we talk for a second just about therapy? Are you in therapy?
I'm in it all the time. I live at that place.
Our podcast is therapy.
It really is.
And
I approached Dino and begged him. I just asked him if he could please just hang out, because I wanted to get to the bottom of why he left me in the first place years ago. He just stopped talking to me. I couldn't get him on the phone. I'm like, what? That hurt me to my marrow. And we've never like sucked each other's cocks or anything.
No, I'm the only person he's never been attracted to. What are you gonna do?
Look at him.
But yeah, I mean, there's like no wrong answers on that podcast. It's like, yeah, black people's eyes pop out. Love it.
Yeah. Don't listen to the podcast.
Don't listen to our
He
podcast.
drops the N-bomb like for no reason.
I do it here.
It's just no point.
I stopped doing it here when people started applauding. Then it got creepy.
Yeah, but I think it's true about the millennials. You know, they're new to the party, and we have to respect them.
But I think that it's like, yeah, but can you sense, and I think you can, or maybe it's even more interesting if you can't, because look what happened. You came out and you were like a bull in a china shop but instead of china, it was like hot buttons are for sale in this shop. No, it's not a shop. You're not supposed to be in there. You're a bull in a fucking racist tirade. Every button you could push. And even though you're about like you're being told like, oh, they don't like that and blah blah blah, like, you then all of a sudden 5 seconds later, like we've switched gears into a one-night show with Andy Dick where you're telling stories and people are leaned in and they're sharing with you because you're talking about your pain. You're talking about what it means to be Andy Dick in a Starbucks. You adapted because you're like a freaky stem cell, like Mystique character that's like oh, anything to, because you love making people happy. Yes. But it has to be you. That's
well, that's all I have.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't. It's just like you can't like
the only way.
You're so.
But it's not about that. You're happy. You're not happy that people are happy. You're happy that you make people happy. Like if someone next to you makes someone happy, you're going to be like, "Why am I even here on Earth?"
That's exactly what happens. That's what it is. And by the way,
it does happen, but I'm better at that. I know what
you weren't better in New York.
That's what he's referencing. In New York City, we did this Our Skull Juice podcast, and that's what I was getting at. That I approached Dino, and I'm like, "Can you be my friend? I miss you, and I just want to be." He's like, "Let's start a podcast." And I'm like, "I don't really." Fine. If it means you're going to be my friend, let's do it. And then I thought, no one's going to listen to this. And we'll just talk, and I'm going to get to the bottom of why he left me. And I have a lot of insights after we talk, a lot. And I go away hating you, but then I want to do another one. Yeah. I call him the next day. Can we do another one today? He's like,
he loves hating me.
And and by the way, he hates doing the podcast. At 1 hour, he's like, "We're done." I'm like, "No, we're just gonna." But in New York, it was and rightfully so, and fair enough, it was all about Dino, and that's fine. I wasn't fine with it in New York. I wasn't fine with it. It was Dino created this thing, and it was Tina Fey and Stephen Colbert and all those people. I don't know if you heard about it. And we were live on stage like this, and what's his name? Louis C.K. showed up, and Scott Adset. And am I missing anybody? And it was
Smigel
and Smigel, Triumph, the insult comic dog. And oh look, that's him.
Oh, there he is. It's a skeleton.
His eyes bugged out. And Dino created this night. I started having this great appreciation for you, and Stephen Colbert texted him and said, "Hey, I listened to your first Skull Juice podcast." I'm like, "He did?" He's like, "Yeah." So Steven texted him and said, "Yeah, you were going to read the script that you got that he had written with Steven, and then you never got to it because it was all about me. We never got to the script."
He's like, "I listened to the whole fucking podcast."
He was. Oh, he hated it.
No, I don't think he hated it.
Oh.
I was trying to get a laugh.
Oh. But see, I almost went into that spiral I know. Talking about. But anyhow.
Everyone was scared.
Then Dino just said offhandedly, "Why don't we just do it live on stage?" And then within a week, everybody's live fucking on stage because Dino said, "Let's do it." And
that's Dino's thing. Well, you guys are like you're the opposite on one axis, which is that Dino doesn't give a fuck. And then everyone feels safe, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's that old thing. We all know it
secretly,
intellectually.
He does care about.
So when people tell you, no, he does. I
don't know if it's that secret.
Okay.
But he doesn't. Yeah. Well, anyways, I don't know. It's too.
I don't obsess, but.
Listen, we've got Paul Rudd here tonight, so and we need one of the chairs. But you have a heart out, right? If you want, you can.
Is Paul Rudd here for real?
Yeah. No, Paul Rudd's here.
He really is.
Yep.
Oh, then I'll leave. Why am I?
But you have to. You have to
why
go.
Was I here at all?
Don't you have to go?
Stephen Colbert's here
too.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd really is here?
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, Paul Rudd's not here. Jesus Christ.
You got me.
All right.
Now I'm mad.
I do have to go anyways. I have a show in Burbank at
let's
9
thank
o'clock.
Andy Dick for bearing his soul, and he'll come back. And
Andy Dick, everybody. He's
leaving.
Working out the kinks.
Is his handler here?
Yeah.
Do we have the net?
It'll be okay.